Welcome everyone to episode 48 of the Brewhouse podcast between two brothers where we talk about gaming, tech, entertainment, and everything in between. We hope y'all are doing well during these unusual times, I guess you could say. Really good for gamers though, because
clear out your backlogs.
Yeah, clear out your backlog. You know, play Final Fantasy VII Remake just came out, which is actually we're going to be doing a Spoilercast this episode, talking about it. So this could potentially be an hour-long episode, so buckle in. This is both this is one of our favorite games of all time. The original was, and there was
top five.
Top
Easy.
5, yeah. No doubt. Maybe, yeah, top 5 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So this game had been rumored for a while. They did the PS3 tech demo in, was that 2005?
Yeah.
And then it was announced in 2015 at E3. And when I say announced, they had put together a trailer. And there was a lot of hype. And, well, first let me get this out of the way. If you don't know how we do spoiler casts and game reviews, we do a brief at the intro, the opening will be spoiler free. And then we'll get into, the spoilers. And that will include spoilers for the remake and for the original Final Fantasy VII game.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. If you haven't played the original, just keep that in mind, because we'll be talking.
But you should play the original.
Yes.
If you haven't.
Because, okay, well, let's get into that. This game was very, I don't want to say nostalgic heavy, but it was nostalgic, but it was in a good way. I felt very, I don't know what, emotional. I felt very attached. I cared about all the characters they introduced. And I think that's something this game did better, but only because of the time that it came out. You hear the characters talking, you're spending more time with them because the game's a lot longer than I thought it was going to be.
Well, half of it's cutscenes.
Well, yeah, but still, the cutscenes are still building the character development and everything.
But I'm saying that's why it's so good.
Yeah,
it's because in the original game, you can get out of Midgar in
5 hours.
Out. If you go at a pace, but if you're Caleb, you can do it in under 2.
Yeah, you can do it an hour 15 or something.
Yeah. So no, that's half of this game is cutscenes, but it's just character development and stuff that we wanted in the original game that we're just assuming. So I think it was done perfectly well. And you were saying that it showed 2005 E3 is when they showed the PlayStation 3 tech demo.
Yeah, and getting all the good stuff out of the way, because majority is good stuff in this game. The music is the best music I've heard in any video game ever.
This was already my favorite soundtrack, but they just made it better.
Yeah. They tied in old themes and put a new kind of, I don't want to say modern twist on them, but a new twist on them. But they were still, this game was very faithful to the original Final Fantasy game. And without getting too spoilery, it felt like if you hadn't played the original, you could still play this, but if you have played the original, things will hit more in this game. And you will definitely be I was in my feels in the first 2 minutes of the game at the intro.
I think playing this game, it would be completely okay going back and playing the original one. And being okay with that. Obviously, if you had had the time, I would have preferred you to play the original game beforehand. But
yeah,
I think more people.
I definitely recommend people play the original one.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I think more people are so eager to see what's next that they're going to go back and play the original one, which is just going to make them appreciate how far it's come since it came out in 1997.
Yeah, because I don't understand how they made this game look so good. I have launch PS4. You have a launch PS4 too.
Yep, and it looked great.
There's a few texture things. There's
The hair,
yeah, the hair
see
sometimes, but I mean, I don't know how they made it look so good. I honestly don't, because it is the best looking PlayStation 4 game I've ever played.
It's up there with God of War.
It's up there with God of War.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. It's just, I can't say enough good things about this game. I guess I'll give my rating right now, get it out of the way before we get into the spoiler talk. I give it a 9 out of 10. More than likely my game of the year. And I have plenty of negative things to say about it, but those negative things are not enough to pull it down any lower than a 9 out of 10.
I'll give it a 10.
Yeah. Is that your critical review? Or your personal one? Well, I guess it doesn't matter.
Both.
Yeah.
Both.
And 10 out of 10 does not mean for us it's a perfect game. It just means no
game's perfect.
Yeah, it is 10 out of 10 means like it's a masterpiece, like it's everything we wanted it to be and more. So and then without going into too much detail, the combat, that's one thing I was not really worried about but interested in. They hit the combat out of the park, and I am excited because it is the first introduction of the combat. So it can, in my opinion, it can only get better.
Yeah, I think going into it, I was afraid it was going to be too Kingdom Hearts-ish. And it is in some ways, but then in ways it's not. But they definitely went the right direction going away from it.
I'd say it's more Final Fantasy 12 meshed with Final Fantasy 13. But you have more freedom than you did in those games. Because 13 did the ATB gauge too, I'm pretty sure. I didn't play 13 enough to know.
Yeah, they did it. No, in that sense, I'd say it's almost more 13 and then mashed up with an action RPG.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking about it. Go ahead.
I said you can't do in this style, you can't do a turn-based.
You couldn't. No, I agree. Thinking about it, it is very similar. The base of this combat is Crisis Core. If you think about it, you have you could scroll through your abilities, your materia, whatever. You have, your basic attacks that you can do. It's Crisis Core combat was the base for this game, and then they added in the ATB gauge, which again, it's built off. Like, you might remember the combat from Crisis Core was just button mashing. I'm just glad
they got rid of the slot machine, so it's okay.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, those were our spoiler-free thoughts. Even then, like I said, this might be an hour-long episode. Go play this game. Even if you're not a Final Fantasy fan, you will enjoy this game. I promise you. It might be the best game on PS4 ever. Like out of all of them, it's up there.
That's a topic for another discussion.
Yeah, like that's how.
It's close.
It's up there. It's definitely in the top 3, top 5, whatever. All right, so this is your warning for spoilers for the remake part 1, because there's going to be multiple parts, and for the original Final Fantasy VII game.
Are they going to call it something else?
Well, let's talk about the name first.
Because this is remake.
This is remake.
Final Fantasy VII remake. This is Final Fantasy VII remake. Is it going to be a remake part 2?
I don't know. And a bunch of people were mad because they were like, all right, they didn't call it part 1. So if people don't listen to gaming news or like keep up with things, they might buy this game thinking it's the whole game. Which again,
you can take it as a whole game.
Yeah. That's probably a minority of people in that, I guess, in that group. But yeah. I look at this as, and we'll get into more of this when we talk about the ending. I'm looking at this as a sequel to Final Fantasy VII, because there's some hints in the ending that, let's put it this way, Aerith and Sephiroth definitely knew what was happening in the game, because like we'll talk about it, but that Sephiroth was not the Sephiroth from the original Final Fantasy VII. He knew what was happening. He was, because in the original game he did like, he was smart and he was, you know, deceitful, but he didn't know what was like happening. This one knew what was going to happen when it was going to happen. And again, that has to do more with the ending. We'll get into it. This game was, the combat absolutely blew me away.
It was really good.
It didn't hit me how like in depth you could go. I'd probably say like the Reno fight when you fight him in the church, which was different from the original, because if I remember correctly, you don't fight him.
You
just run away.
Yeah, that's okay. So you have a lot of influences. It's not just Final Fantasy VII. You have Final Fantasy VII. You have Crisis Core, and then you have a heavy influence of Advent Children. Heavy influence.
Yeah, the entire last hour of the game is literally Advent Children
with Kingdom Hearts combat.
Yeah. Which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And in my opinion, because the entire game was not, and not saying Kingdom Hearts combat isn't good. It's of course good, but we didn't want it to be just a clone of that, you know. We wanted it to be its own thing. We wanted it to go its own ways, and it definitely did that, in my opinion.
But it's so in-depth. I mean, you can play it on easy and just equip basic material, but if you don't go, and I mean, that was the whole point of Final Fantasy VII, like the original one too. If you don't realize, oh, if I equip these two items together, I can do this. Like, there's no all materia in this. Spoilers.
Yeah, there's magnify,
but they don't call it all.
Mm-hmm. So you have to like look to notice what it is.
Mm-hmm. Just the elemental does good, and if you level it all the way, you put in your defense, and you can absorb damage.
The elemental material was probably my favorite in this game, just for the offensive and defensive influence it can have.
And then you have new materia like Prey, Chakra, and stuff like that do go to healing, because in hard mode, spoiler, you can't use items.
And there's no benches, are there?
Benches only recover health. Yeah. So the only way to get back MP is from the Shinra boxes.
Yeah, the Shinra boxes and some weapon abilities, I think. Some weapon abilities, like when you take a lot of damage, you get MP back or something.
Yeah, like a MP siphon or
something like that.
Yeah. Or there's like using ATBs increases your mana. There's other ways to get it, but the main thing is there's no items, so you need to rely on Prey and Chakra type materia to use your ATB gauge to heal your party.
Yeah. And Prey was like the double ATB and it healed everyone in the party. Chakra was when you take damage, you get some of the health back from the damage. Yeah. And as you level it up, you get more and more. Speaking of the weapons, I love the way they did the weapons in this game. Because if you wanted to, you could use the Buster Sword for the entire playthrough.
I used it at the end.
I didn't. I used the Twin Stinger or whatever because I loved the way that weapon looked. And the ability on that made that last fight very easy.
The counter stance, yeah. See, I didn't level it up. I got to the Rufus fight, and I took off Twin Stinger. I was like 90% from getting the weapon ability.
That fight was tough.
I put it back on the Buster. So, no, I mean,
well,
it's tough. If you don't have counter stance, you wait for him to reload, and then you do the focus thrust, and you just stagger him, and then that's when you do all your damage.
You see, even then, I didn't know about focus thrust until like the Sephiroth fight.
Oh,
that's
really?
Yeah, I didn't use focus thrust like the entire playthrough. But I will say, even I didn't use it, and this is not a slight against the game and whatsoever, because they do have hard mode. I found the game just, and this is part of why I put it at 9 out of 10. I found the base game on normal, which is the hardest difficulty you could do. I found it a little too easy.
Well, I mean, I think it was a good normal. I think it was good enough because I died twice. I think
I died twice, and it wasn't to bosses. I died when you're in the train graveyard and you come out of the big warehouse and the two ghosts appear with like a bunch of other things. That was the first time I died.
Okay. No, I died on Wraps the first time. And then I died on... What did I die on the second time? I don't even remember.
Anyway, the weapon system in this game is amazing.
I like how you get skill points. Now the highest you can only go to weapon level 5, so at that point you don't get any more skill points unless you collect the certain items, like the books. I don't know how many you collected, but you get them from doing other
you get them from like
tasks.
the Moogle Metal vendor, stuff like
That's where you get the level 1s, and each one gets 10 weapon points to that person. But I mean, like the pull-up challenge, you got some for Tifa. The dark challenge, I think you got some for Cloud.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's
you
just
have to
other little things.
Yeah, you have to be like the high scores or whatever. Or for them.
But then also in hard mode, there's some ways that you can only get some that are offered in hard mode.
So I kind of want to go into what was different about this game up until the obvious point that was different. I guess we can kind of start getting into. This will have to do with the ending, but it happens throughout the game. Throughout the game, there's these, for lack of a better word, Dementor-looking things that were
Whispers?
not. Yeah, the Whispers that were not in the original. For those of you that haven't played the original, those were not there. And for a while, I was like, okay, what are these things for? What are they doing? So on and so forth. I think when they were hovering over Biggs, when you were climbing up the support pillar, I was like, all right, these dudes are doing something to like keep the original story intact. Because it makes sense, because even like when Hojo tells Cloud, like, you weren't in Soldier, and the Whispers go and pull him away because Cloud's not supposed to know that, or that didn't happen in the original game. Hojo never tells Cloud at that point in the story that he wasn't in Soldier. And again, it even goes back to the very beginning when you first meet Aerith. What happened right before you first met Aerith in the remake? You see Sephiroth. And that did not happen in the original.
Well, I mean, you don't see Sephiroth until you get to the Shinra Tower, but also the whole thing with Sephiroth is they introduced the clones really early.
Yeah, very early.
So, I mean, the thing is with those, they have Sephiroth cells in them, so he can pretty much manifest himself. So, spoiler: the Sephiroth you fight at the end isn't the actual Sephiroth.
No, man, well,
he's up in the north. He's up in the North Crater, frozen. So.
That's a spoiler for the original game too. The Sephiroth you see throughout the game is not actually
not him.
I mean, it's Sephiroth, but he's manifesting himself into
you don't fight the actual Sephiroth until the end of the game.
Yeah, when he's the three fights at the very end of the original game are the actual Sephiroth. So
2. Oh, 3. I mean, if you count
Bizarro, Bizarro, and then God mode Sephiroth.
Bizarro safer, and then just normal.
So yeah, I mean, if you think about it, Sephiroth showing up at that point did not happen. Why do you think he showed up? So Cloud wouldn't meet Aerith. So why were the Whispers attacking Aerith right there? To keep her there until Cloud met her. And then why did the Whispers go and try and push Aerith away when the Shinra soldiers showed up? Because she wasn't there when they showed up in the original.
So the whole thing with the Whispers, I first thought they were the clones of Sephiroth.
I did too, actually.
Followers. But then whenever I saw they started moving around, and then whenever we saw Cloud's neighbor where he was staying, I'm like, okay, well there's some part of the Earth. There's some part of the life stream. These are past people. And I mean, I know where you're gonna go. Like, they're trying to change the destiny and everything like that. But
no, they were not trying to change it.
Well, they're trying to keep it the same.
Yeah.
But the thing is, as much as, at the end they're like, oh, we're going to make our own destiny, still going to turn out the same way.
No, I agree with you. I think the same major points will happen.
Oh, yeah.
There's a bunch of people, not a bunch of people, there's some people that think Aerith won't die.
That's a joke. That's a joke. She has to die.
She has to die.
She has to die.
But then there's some people that say, oh, the ending of the original one was the bad ending. Because, no, well, I mean, I don't make that face. It makes sense if you think about it.
I haven't read any of this. It's a bad ending. I mean,
because
Sephiroth dies, the world is saved.
Is the world saved? Because they see the Flash. They see flashes in the last boss fight, right? From all the Advent children. I'm talking about remake. No, I'm saying.
I thought you were talking about the original one.
I'm saying some people. No, okay. I'm saying some people argue that the ending from the original game is the bad ending, because when you're in the boss fight at the end of remake, you see the flashes from Advent Children. What does Red 13 say? He said, "This is what happens if we. This is what happens if we lose here. This is what happens if we lose."
I thought you said this is a glimpse of the future if we win.
No, he said this is a glimpse of the future if we lose.
Okay.
So there's people that say, well, what if that was the quote unquote bad ending? Again, that's up for debate, but let's just dive into the ending first and knock that out, because that's going to be the majority of this. So you kill Motorball, which let's talk about.
How'd you like that fight?
The motorcycle portion, it should have been 2 portions. Fighting him on the motorcycle and then fighting him at the end of the bridge, like on foot. In my opinion. And the motorcycle portion should have been like half the length.
I think that fight was okay, especially after the horrible fight that was before it.
What fight was before it?
Before you get on the motorcycle, I forget the hell of the name of
the tank.
Yeah, the tank.
Oh, I didn't care for that fight at all.
That fight was complete butts, and I was like, okay, we're gonna have to do this again with Motorball. And then I saw it was you were on the motorcycle. I was like, okay, this is fine. No, it's just like, okay, it's 2v1. You can't even count Red 13. The spoilers, you don't get to control them, except to get him to run on some ramps.
Yeah, which I kind of get, because he's in the game for 15% of it.
Nope, I don't get it. That's one negative for me.
But then, yeah, the other part of me is like, all right, well, you're going to be able to play as him in the next game, so why, like...
Are you?
I would think so. I would think you'll be able to play as all the main characters.
Were they just like, how do we use his weapon? It's a hairpin.
Yeah,
how do
really.
we get him to do combos? We can't figure this out. We need to stall for another 6 years before part 2 comes out.
I will say, he was awesome though.
Oh, he was great.
Rablat Dog and all that stuff was hilarious.
Now, do you think he can actually talk, or do you think Eric touched him and manifested some kind of speech ability in him?
I think he can actually talk.
He can talk.
Yeah.
He can talk.
So yeah, the motorball fight, I thought it was cool. We had only had one motorcycle fight before that, which was against Roach, whatever. Roach, yeah. Which was okay. We'll talk about him.
Yeah,
we'll talk about him later. I think he's going to come back, and I think he will be.
As long as they don't bring any of those other dumb characters back from Crisis Core.
Yeah, and I think he'll be better in the next ones, because he's going to go through a change. Because if you were paying attention to what President Shinra said about soldiers and how they their body, and this happened in Crisis Core too, like their body starts to break down. And also Eric's mom talked about it too. We'll get into that.
They're infused with strength by the Mako.
Yeah, Mako, yeah.
It's Mako, always. But that only lasts, they give them heightened strength for a certain period of time, but then they'll die a lot faster.
So after you kill Motorball, there's pretty much, again, Sephiroth shows up, and this is not the quote-unquote Sephiroth we see in the original game. This is completely different, and it's proven by that because when you fight him, he grows the wing out of his arm.
Yeah,
which does not happen.
You knew they were going to do that at some point. They can't help themselves with wings and characters.
The entire last hour of this game screams Advent Children, but it screams the good stuff, in my opinion.
There's nothing bad really about Advent Children. I think it was a good follow-up to Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah. So, at first, I don't want to say I wasn't a fan of the ending. I knew something was going to be different, and I think a lot of people would have been pissed if, you killed Motorball, and that's the end of the game.
I would have loved it.
So
people would have been so mad. I would have loved it.
So pretty much what they did, they set up to make it look like they can do whatever the hell they want in the next parts.
You had to have some big baddie that you needed to jump off rocks, slash through concrete. I get it. You need this big flashy thing. they could have just moved. They could have skipped all that and just had the Sephiroth fight, and that would have been okay.
Yeah. What is cool? Go ahead.
Because if they have whispers in the next game, well, did you just kill them all?
They won't have whispers. They can't. No.
But this is also an alternate dimension.
True. Which, let's get one thing out of the way right now. Zack is not alive in this timeline.
No, he's dead.
Zack is in the Zack they showed, which, by the way, they no slight, like, I'm not trying to be an ass. They literally could have gotten anybody else to voice him, and it would have been better.
Oh, it was bad.
His voice actor was bad.
I don't even know who it was. He just, I was like, okay, that voice isn't right.
Yeah, like, just did a bad job.
Every other voice actor was on point.
Yeah, like, nailed it.
Rufus was the one that surprised me the most. I was like, I didn't think he'd sound that gruff.
Yeah,
but no, his voice actor was bad. But no, it was a flashback.
No, it wasn't even a flashback. I'm saying how he lives. That's an alternate timeline, because notice the chip bag with stamp on it. Why do you think they slowed down to show that it was a different breed of dog? Mm-hmm. When the stamp in our timeline, the remake's timeline, it was like a beagle or something.
Okay, so you're saying that they went through the portal and they're in a new timeline.
No, I'm saying when they went through the portal and killed the Whispers, it affected all the other timelines too. So like Zack died technically because the Whispers forced him to die. But now that they were dead, he lived in the alternate timeline.
Where the Whispers force him to die?
Because in that scene, the Whispers are behind him at Midgar, and they explode after. But that's not happening in his timeline, it's happening in the remakes. Does that make sense?
No, he's still dead.
Well, yeah, he's dead, but I'm saying in the timeline they showed, he's alive.
Oh, we don't need a multiverse, people. It's bigger. Y'all making it bigger than it is.
Yeah.
I think it's still going to play out the same way.
I do
They
too.
had to go in this alternate dimension because that's where Sephiroth went to kill the Whisper King, which for some reason was fighting them, even though they need to stop Sephiroth from doing what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that was Sephiroth wanted us to do it.
Yeah, because I mean, at times it almost seemed like they were helping Sephiroth, but no,
they were just trying to keep things normal. For instance, when Sephiroth kills President Shinra,
and then stabs Barrett,
I was like, this didn't happen.
No.
And then the Whispers brought him back to life, and I was like, okay, that's what they're doing.
He wasn't gonna die.
They're trying to keep the timeline the same.
Because then the complete what's it called? Golden Coral scene. I mean, that entire town's pointless.
Yeah. So that's pretty much when I knew. It was like, okay, they're trying to keep things as they were in the original game. And then the last hour was just
the balls on them if they would kill him off in the first one instead of somebody else.
Kill him and then you get dying in the party instead.
Well, no, just kill a main character in the first game that wasn't supposed to die.
Yeah, I mean, they could have.
Yeah.
But it's kind of going off on a tangent, then we'll get back to the ending, and then we'll talk about some random points too. Because I took notes that we need to talk about too. What was I going to say? So yeah, the last hour was just, I don't want to say information overload, but it definitely took some time. I'm sure it took some time for you two to kind of process what had happened. Mm-hmm. But if you go back, you remember how like the Whispers, they had like three main ones? It was like the red one, the blue one, and the yellow one?
The yellow one, yep.
So who did you think that represented when you first saw them? The sword, gun, and fists, right?
Yeah, it was the main characters, yeah.
Well, if you go back and look... if you go back and look, the one with a gun actually has two guns. And the one that punches you, only one of its fists was big, right? Mm-hmm. And the sword wasn't a big sword, it was a small sword. So, remember the entire last hour reminds you of Advent Children? Mm-hmm. That's Laz, Yazoo, and Kadash from Advent Children.
Mm.
Just remember the long-haired one had 2 guns at one point. Laws had the thing on his fist, the dude that fought Tifa.
Mm.
He had the big thing on his fist, and then Kadash had the small kind of katana, double katana thing.
But I mean, what's the point in making those characters like that? Just a resemblance, because it's not like we're gonna see the characters again.
Yeah, I know, but to me, that is better than it representing the main characters. Because why would they try and represent the main characters and the Whispers? I don't know. That's just what I got out of it.
Oh yeah, no, I mean it's a nice little Easter egg.
Yeah. Let's talk about if Biggs, Jesse, and Wedge are alive.
Jesse better be alive.
I don't know.
They should be. Biggs is alive. Wedge is probably dead.
Is Biggs alive in our timeline, or was when they showed him? Was that in Zach's timeline? I think if
which timeline, which timeline did the main characters in the remake exit?
In the remake's timeline.
So not in the original one.
Yeah.
So you're saying they went through the portal.
Mm-hmm.
Dine could still be alive. Marlene's still with Dine, and Zach's still alive. See, so you're saying this part 2 and 3 is going to be in a different timeline than the other one. See, I don't.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the Zach we see in the remake is in a different timeline. So was Biggs in his timeline, or was he in the remake's timeline?
Remakes.
Okay. So
not in Zach. Anything that we saw happened in, besides the scenes with Zach, happened in the remake's timeline, not in Zach's timeline.
Okay, that's fair. So yeah, if they're alive,
I think that was isolated. It didn't have anything to do with anything else.
It was just like a kind of.
I think it was just a throwback, because they were showing flashes of everybody's past or future with the Whispers. So this one was Aerith's.
Yeah.
I think that's the only reason why they showed it. It was a combination of Aerith's and Cloud's.
Yeah.
Because Cloud was there.
Yeah. There were a lot. Go ahead.
Aerith doesn't know that Zach died.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's true. There were a lot of Crisis Core Easter eggs in this game.
There's a lot of the original ones too. Yeah. I mean, I saw the apple juice at the beginning.
Well, even things like when you're in the Shinra building and Cloud sees the soldier he knows, and he said, "Oh, let me go get Kunsel." Kunsel was the guy that was emailing you like information in Crisis Core,
blowing your phone up. Yeah.
What was another one?
Did you see the Final Fantasy 13-2? Or no, Final Fantasy 10-2?
Final Fantasy 10-2, the Shinra character in the museum? Yeah.
Why?
Because, again, this is getting into, the conspiracy. There's some people that argue Final Fantasy 10 and Final Fantasy 7 are in the same universe. They're just like past and future or whatever, so on and so forth. I don't buy that, but... another thing...
Where's the Blitzball?
So in the original, Hojo wanted to breed Aerith with Red 13, right?
Yep.
In this one, he brings up Soldier with Project G genes, which was Project Jillian from Crisis Core, which was like Genesis and all that. Yeah. Another Crisis Core Easter egg.
Well, because they wanted somebody that had the same or similar genes to Sephiroth.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what Genesis is. He's the closest clone to Sephiroth.
Yeah, literally. In my notes, I have Zach is alive in a different timeline in all caps because he is not. Yeah, because he literally can't live in the remake's timeline. Because why would Cloud have the Buster Sword? Why would Cloud still be having this kind of, PTSD flashbacks stuff going on?
Which did you mind that throughout the entire?
No, I thought it was good.
I thought it was good. It wasn't too much.
It even gets to the point where when he grabs his arm, when he sees Sephiroth in Hojo's lab, that's the arm he had Geostigma in Advent Children. Stuff like that. I mean, there's so many Easter eggs in this game, and I think one thing people need to... A bunch of people are saying, oh, it's Nomura, Kingdom Hearts. You need to remember what Nomura did before Kingdom Hearts. Like
Kingdom Hearts is trash compared to this game.
Like Nomura is the one that killed Aerith in the original one. And apparently I didn't know this. I heard it somewhere. I heard it in one video I watched. The other directors wanted to kill everybody in the party and have you pick the 2 survivors besides Cloud.
That would be awesome.
When you're when you're parachuting back into Midgar to go fight Hojo, they wanted to kill everybody but 3 people.
Okay, if they would pick a better way to kill them, I would love that.
I don't know if it would have been that part, but it would have been like around that time in the game.
Yeah, no, like if the diamond weapon killed him or something like that, or whatever, right around that time. I would love that, just because the different, especially if they were able to tie different endings to it. I'd be completely okay with it.
Okay, well,
now if it was the same blank ending, no.
Well, okay, different endings. Let's talk about that. What if in the next game you get to make choices? Because this game had that. In this game,
they all led to the same thing though. Besides the dress, I
know, but so like then you know what I'm talking about. The scene before you go to the Shinra building, you can either you can go talk to Aerith or you can go talk to Tifa in the flower garden. Who did you talk to in the flower garden before you went to the Shinra building?
Well, before you went to the Shinra building, Tifa was the only one there.
If you talk to Aerith, you see her in like a dream form. So if you do things throughout the game, you talk to Aerith there instead of Tifa. So like when you fall down into the sewer, you went to Tifa first, right?
Yeah.
If you go to Aerith, you get the Aerith cutscene.
Okay.
And you should probably watch it, but she leads on. I'll talk to
Aerith next time.
Yeah, she leads on that she knows what's going to happen. And she knows what is happening right now, which is why I was saying this Aerith is different than the one in the original. Just like the Sephiroth we see.
That's hard to compare because in this one you're able to see facial expressions, you hear the voices, inflections, and what they're saying. There's more cutscenes because they can go more in depth. I feel in the original one, Ares. She wasn't
Aerith.
US one. Aerith was in that one. She knew what was going to happen the entire time. That's what I got from the dialogue in the original one. She knew what was going to happen the entire time. Sephiroth knew that someone would bring him the black materia.
He knew Cloud would. Yeah, he knew he had the influence over Cloud.
He knew he had influence over Cloud. He knew someone was going to bring him the black materia. He had a feeling it was Cloud. He wasn't sure it was going to be, but he knew one of his clones, would bring him the black materia, and he didn't end up getting what he wanted. He didn't realize what would happen to him.
Okay, Finn is saying doing no side quests and having negative interactions also results in Barrett showing up.
Oh, date scene like in the original one. I don't know if anyone's played, but you can actually, the date scene in Golden Saucer, you can get Barrett to be your date.
Yeah.
And it's a pain in the butt to do it because you have to do little minuscule things to get it, but you can.
All right.
Doing no side quests and negative interactions.
Can I just say I cannot wait to see Golden Saucer in the next game. That place is going to be I hope that place is massive.
Okay. So let's talk about one point. This game, as far as this, like the remake and the Midgar portion of the original game, is very linear.
Yes.
Do you think whenever you step out going, out of Midgar in the second one,
I don't think it's going to be a true open world.
You don't think it's going to be? So what if they just throw like Breath of the Wild status on you?
I would be amazed if they did that.
I mean, you're talking. This is going to be built for PS5, so if they're going to do it, they may as well do it now.
I hope they do it.
Can do it. I think they can do it.
If they don't, I hope they go the route of Final Fantasy 12, where it's instances, and you kind of have preset fights and everything. Because this one, even in the original, Midgar was very linear. There was only so many places you could go. In fact, this game was more open because there was, you had all the pathways.
Well, there's more pathways around it, and like the areas. I mean, the slum areas, you can actually go duck behind it, find items and stuff like that.
Wall Market was absolutely amazing. was my favorite area in the game. Wall Market, and then the Shinra building was second. Like that place was Wall Market was, and it was one of my favorite things was seeing places and recognizing, oh, this is this place in the original. Like the part where
going to the bar, the guy's in the toilet vomiting his guts up.
Yeah, like eventually when you see the place at the wall where you climb up to go to the Shinra building, I was like, oh my god.
But you don't need batteries this time.
This is where Caleb freaked out that he didn't buy batteries. Like we both watch a stream that speedruns this game like a lot. And
the original one.
The original one, yeah. Well, he's starting to speedrun this one too.
Yeah.
So yeah, we watched this guy a lot play the original game. Yeah, it was so cool seeing places like all right, like kind of trying to figure out where you are, and then it hits you. It's like, oh, this is here in the original, you know?
Well, it's like the going from Sector 5 to Sector 7, and the big claw things and stuff like that. I mean, the little mini game where you got to pick up the containers and stuff like that. That was a nifty little add-on thing. Yeah. But I'm glad you only had to do it the first time.
Yes.
Because whenever you run back there the second time, I didn't want to do that shit again.
Okay, let's talk about kind of the mini game stuff, but let's focus more on the side quests now.
Okay. I like the side quest system. I like that you can do as little or as much as you want to. You got probably 24 or 26 like I did first time?
No, I didn't. Well, okay, let me tell you what I did. I was really worried about the side quests because the Sector 7 ones were lame. They were.
Oh yeah, but that was just starting out.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. So I did like 2 of those, and I was like, all right, I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna do the rest of these. I'm gonna go on. But then I got to the next area. I was like, all right, well, I'll give these a try because it's a new area. I'll see if they're better. Instantly better. Like the Wall Market side quests were amazing.
Well, the Sector 7 ones weren't bad. Like you had the thugs or whatever that you had to sneak back where the rats were.
Yeah.
And then you had to kill the thugs by yourself and stuff like that. They were not that bad. So you didn't probably go through the abandoned warehouse part then either.
No, you had to go in there and like kill a drake or something. I did.
Yeah, what I liked about them, they weren't repetitive. I mean,
well, that one was
go here, kill this monster a little bit.
Well, that one was like you had been to that area already.
Yeah, but I at least like that there was some backstory giving to it. Like,
yeah,
this person needs this done because of X.
And later in the game, the ones like in Sector 5 and in Wall Market, like I said, those actually did like character development and stuff, and allowed you to see like more of the world. Like fighting the behemoth was like an awesome side quest that gave like one of Barrett's best weapons.
Well, you had to have a behemoth in there, so
yeah.
Which best weapon?
Well, not best weapon. It gave him a really good ability, the maximum fury or whatever, where he
that's from an item. That's not from the boss.
No, you do the side quest to kill the behemoth, and the dude gives you the weapon that you get maximum fury from.
Yeah. Okay.
Which that ability is like really good, actually.
Oh, that's his best one. I mean,
that's really good to use when the enemy's staggered.
Okay, with as much stuff as because I want to go through each character and their abilities and everything too.
Oh god. Okay.
Side quests are good. The mini games were fun. The darts was a nice little addition. It was easy. You said, did you try it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I did the darts.
But you didn't. Did you?
I didn't do the high. I didn't do the high score or whatever. But
okay. Squats was easy. Pull-ups is a bit challenging. Like at the first time I did it, I was like, "Oh, this is bad." And then so you have 2 rounds. I want to say it's like 60 seconds or it's like 40 seconds each.
I think it's either 60 or 90.
Yeah, so it's probably 60. So like the second round, like the first round, I was like, okay, I got like 22 the first time. Okay, I'm good. He's got 21. I drop off at the beginning, and then he's just like boom, boom,
yeah,
boom, 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 and he's already like at 44. I'm just like, I ended up beating him 45 to 44.
Jesus.
Yep, that's called not falling off once and getting the right pattern. Please watch. Let me pull up my controller. So sometimes they have some where you got to go X triangle. Square circle, X triangle square circle.
Oh, and it'll change.
it will change. So the ones you want are like X square circle triangle. So you just go X square circle triangle, X square circle triangle. So you just try to get the ones where you just move your thumb or square like that. So if you get 2 of those back to back, you just don't drop and you'll get it. But then all the side missions, you can get 24 out of 26 in one playthrough. 2 of them you got to choose different options from Sam. That you got to say no, I don't want to do the coin toss, and I think like one other thing to be able to do it. And of course, completionist, I need to replay that one and get the other 2 trophies, but that also leads to another dress.
Yeah.
So,
the Coliseum and Wall Market was really cool.
I like how you can choose party members in the Coliseum.
Yeah. And when freaking Hell House popped up as like a boss at the end of it, I lost my shit.
You didn't see the trailer where they showed that?
I did not watch any trailers except the very first one.
See, I watched them when Caleb watched them. Okay, but that's it.
I didn't watch any of them. I almost didn't even want to play the demo. Because I wanted to go in completely blind. Besides, so like the final trailer that came out, I didn't watch that. Anything after the very first trailer they showed, I didn't watch. Because, again, this is not Kingdom Hearts.
Nope.
But the final Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer legit showed like...
It gave the story?
It gave the story away. It was just cut to make it convoluted.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. We already know the story in this game.
Yeah. And... like you said, this is not Kingdom Hearts. People need to calm down and trust. Considering the people that are making the remake also made the original and are...
How glad are you that they took this out of the other developers' hands and put it back in the original?
I could not be happier, because the amount of effort they put into this game and the amount of detail they put...
Because you could have had a Naruto Shippuden style video game, because that's the people that make those games were the people that were originally in charge of making the remake.
Yeah. It's always good when it feels like the people making video games are fans of their own games. Mm-hmm. Like the people that made this game are fans of Final Fantasy VII. And
the same thing like Cory Barlog that does the God of War games.
Yeah, that does God of War. He's like a huge nerd. He loves the video games.
Yep.
So I am not worried whatsoever. And whatever worry I did have, not like upper 90% of this game was absolutely amazing.
So that's the thing. I never thought this game was actually going to come out.
Yeah, you didn't. I mean, I did, but...
Well, I've been expecting it to come out since 2005.
Well, yeah, but I mean, freaking...
I saw that, and I was like, it's coming out next year. Watch. Book it. It's coming out next year. Nope. 15 years later.
And people are upset about this game. They're upset about the
right to be.
They're upset about the ending, which
because it's not the same as the original one.
Literally, like 10% of me understands, but when you think about it, they wanted an HD, they wanted a remaster of the original one with the graphics that we got.
That's not a remaster.
Well, it would be. We got a remake, not a remaster.
Well, the level that they were having, the thing is, you can't a remaster is what they did on PlayStation 4. So if you want a remaster, exactly. Go play the PlayStation 4 port, which is just the PC port.
Yeah, me and you both thought before this came out.
Remake is redesigning ground up, which includes the story.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
that's why I'm sorry to interrupt.
No,
that's good. Why I'm completely okay with whatever they do, because it's a different game.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
And they gave themselves creative freedom, which again, at first when I saw it, I was like, okay, what are they doing? But the more I thought about it, I was like, they can do whatever they want now. Are the same things going to happen? Are the same major points going to happen? Probably. No, at the end, we're going to have Zack come from the alternate timeline, Cloud's
gonna die.
You're gonna hear Zach say on your left, and a bunch of portals are gonna open up, and Zach's gonna come out with like 500
His
people.
Wings.
Yeah, with his wings. Angeal's gonna be there. Genesis is gonna be there, and y'all are gonna fight Sephiroth together. No, like they're not gonna do that. I mean, they could, but
then I would have something to complain about.
Yeah, but no. Like I said, I was worried for like an hour after I played the game, and then I thought about it, and I was like, I thought about the text that showed up at the end of the game. The unknown journey lies ahead, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, they put so much effort into this game. I don't think like they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it right, in my opinion.
Well, it's the people that made the original.
Yeah.
Who's to say that this is not how they wanted it to be in the first place, but they were limited due to technology?
Yeah. They're straight up like Howard Starking us right now. Like
So,
limited to the technology of their time.
You said the Untold Adventure, right?
So it's Untold Journey will continue, or Untold Adventure will continue, or something,
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
So people are probably saying, "Oh, it's a new story. It's a new story." It could just be their Untold Adventure, as will continue.
Yeah,
like they don't know what they're choosing their own destiny to stop the planet from dying.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I loved this game, dude. I can't get over it.
Characters. Who's the strongest?
Tifa.
Who's the second strongest?
Aerith.
Who's the third strongest?
Red 13. No, I'm kidding. Cloud.
Cloud, with Barrett being a close fourth.
And that's not saying Barrett's weak, because each character in this game was unique.
Barrett has the least. Okay, he has a couple abilities that are really good, and the other ones that are just shit.
Yeah, like his focus shot is really good.
Focus shot.
Maximum Fury is good.
Yeah, the steel skin is really good.
Actually.
The
lifesaver.
Yeah. So just his smashes, poop. Not going to use them. When is Barrett ever going to want to be close? If you have him in your party, you want him to be ranged. You want him to do range damage and heal you.
Yeah. His melee weapons were cool. If
slow.
Well, they're slow, but they hit hard, and their unique abilities are cool too. Which I'm pretty sure you can only do his unique abilities if you're using. You can only do the abilities from a melee weapon if you're using a melee weapon.
Nope.
Why are you saying nope?
Because I definitely smashed with a gun in my hand.
Oh, you could? Okay.
Yes. Once you learn the ability, once you become 100% proficient, you can use it on any other weapon.
You can attack cancel with his overcharge and get the recharge. Yeah, that's when you're firing, and then he has to reload his gun. If you need to do the charge, you do the charge while he's reloading his gun, and it'll cancel the animation.
But see, I was never using Barrett enough to have to charge his weapon.
I went through because I knew if I did a second playthrough, it wasn't going to be for a while. Well, when I say a while, like a month or two.
You're probably gonna want to redo it before the other big games come up.
Oh well, yeah. So I used all the characters a fair bit. Tifa was by far the funnest.
See, I'm really tempted in the hard mode to put Tifa as my main character, because you can do that in the menu. You can select Tifa as to be the main character.
Tifa was easily my favorite. Not just because she did so much damage, but
I watched a video today where she's even more broken.
Yeah. Like, it's ridiculous what you can do.
You put the dodge on there, you map Unbridled Fury and Dolphin Kick. So you do the uppercut straight into the Dolphin Kick.
Yeah.
And then you just keep tapping circle with improved dodge and dodge.
With deadly dodge.
Deadly dodge, and they can't attack you at all.
You weren't doing that already?
Deadly dodge. Come on now. Second that materia. I need that green growth.
I had deadly dodge on Cloud for a while. I'm pretty sure I saw that video too. And I took it off Cloud and put it on Tifa, and then literally only used Tifa after that.
Come on. Normal playthrough, I'm there with Barrett just fucking blowing down walls, just unloading, not healing at all. Always at low health, waiting for that auto cure when I'm like this much health. Tossing elixirs left and right, because it don't matter.
Jonathan thought there should have been a gambit system in this game, which I did.
There should be.
I don't agree, because you can access everybody's abilities from the menu very easily.
It could be as simple as being aggressive with your weapon, aggressive with magic, or defensive and supportive.
Mm.
But see, which summon did you get? You got the Chocobo chick.
Yeah.
With your pre-order.
Yeah.
Carbuncle is hacks. The only support summon in the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
So you get Carbuncle, comes out, 2 ATBs, you can get Shield,
Mm-hmm.
you can get Mana Wall, or Shield and Barrier. Yeah, Shield and Barrier.
Yeah.
But then also you get a third one that can increase your ATB speed. But then whenever the final spell, you get a full heal.
Yeah.
On all your characters. So I obviously kept that on cloud the entire time. Cactor was cool. 10,000 Needles was cool. I mean,
the only summon I used was Ifrit.
I used Ifrit, Shiva. I used Leviathan on the Genova, just to tidal wave all the arms.
Okay. An aside here. Can we talk about that freaking Genova fight?
It was good. It was annoying.
It was my favorite fight in the game.
I hated the time stop whenever you got in the portals.
When I saw Genova, I saw, like, you know, you get teleported or whatever, and I saw something pop up, and I was just like freaked out. And then when you get to the third phase and the music starts playing from the original,
dude, the music is so good. Did you play with headphones on?
Yes, on like super high volume.
Yeah. See, I had my my Vita earbuds in and my controller, and I was just blaring it the entire time. That
fight was so good. And that fight was not in the original.
No,
I thought I had to think about it. I was like, "Did you?"
No, fight? You don't fight.
You don't fight till Genova on the ship.
Mm-hmm. Genova life.
Yeah, this was what, Genova Dreamweaver.
Yeah, something like that.
Like the character design or the model of Genova in the fight was freaking literally spot on.
The character models in this game they kept from the original, and the emphasis they put in. I mean, the Hell House is prime. Just perfect example. It's so good. People are like, this is a house.
Yeah.
Why am I fighting a house that shoots rockets?
Okay, and another thing I forgot, the boss you fight at the end of the train graveyard, that was not a boss in the original. That was just a random mob that you had to try and get in order.
I sat there and stole that staff.
Because you had to steal her staff, because that staff is like one of Aerith's best weapons in the game. That was in the original.
That was good until
Umbrella?
Until probably Gold Saucer. Mm-hmm. I remember. It was maybe until Junin.
Yeah.
That was probably good.
So this is what I'm saying. They put effort into this game because they knew people were going to be thinking about that boss and how they had to go get a random encounter with it. So it was like, all right, let's take this boss and just make it a boss.
It was a cool model.
Well, let's take this mob and just put it as an actual boss to where people have to
still
fight
be able to steal from it and get a good item.
Yeah, and still be able to, So that was really cool.
I forget which skill was that. Was that the Ray of Judgment, or did you get that one?
Ray of Judgment was that not the Mithril Staff?
Oh, that's the familiar, the little fairy thing that helps you out.
Yeah,
that's the one you didn't get,
which is fun. So, the Reno and
casted
Rude
that while she's just chilling, shooting in the back. I cast that.
The Reno and Rude fight on the tower was very good too. In the original, you only fight Reno, right?
Yeah, you only fight Reno. How many times did you get pyramided?
Once. That shit was rough.
Rude lasted about 2 seconds because I had everybody's limit breaks, and I just completely destroyed them.
No.
That fight went by really quick. The first time I fought Rude was fun. Now, is that going to be hard the second time? No, not with counter stance.
Yeah, and again, I say, like, these fights were like difficult to learn. It wasn't even necessarily the fights. It was just
learning the combat.
The combat is like, there's so much depth to it.
Okay.
Like I said, I didn't know about focus thrust until the end of the game.
I didn't know this. If you put it in Punisher mode, you already have a counterattack.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And you can, if you time it to where you're swapping to Punisher mode, you get iframes.
Mm-hmm.
If they hit you while you're swapping stances, and you'll do the counter too.
Yep. See, I didn't use Punisher mode that much unless they're in stagger.
You see, I didn't know that until I watched Caleb do his first speedrun. Because that is a very important part. He's in Punisher mode more than he's in operator mode.
Yeah. And see, I didn't like Punisher mode because you can't move around quick.
Yeah. Oh man, this game is just so good.
Ares is overpowered. Her normal attack is really good.
It's really good, and it's like Barrett is ranged, but hers is like ranged, and she does a lot. She does magic damage. Yeah, she does magic damage with her basic attacks.
How mad are you that she didn't get the champion belts to use those?
I wasn't too mad. Like I said, I died. I didn't die to any bosses in this game.
I finished with Barrett having like 7,500 health.
Mm-hmm. I finished with
1 HP up.
Yeah. I finished with him having like 4,500 or something.
Yeah, no, that weapon that he has, I mean, at the later sim, it's like plus 200, plus 200, plus 200. And then he was also stacked with magic, so he had that. What else? I liked all the scenes that they had, all the cutscenes. There was a lot that were reminiscent of the other one.
Mm-hmm. All the characters were designed and portrayed perfectly in this
So what
game.
do you think of Biggs, Jesse, and Wedge?
I think we'll see Jesse at Gold Saucer because they brought that up. I'll
be okay seeing Jesse again.
Yeah, Jesse almost nudged her way into number 1 in this game.
Oh, she's number 2.
Yeah, she's number 2 behind Tifa now, like easily.
But
I thought
I like Aerith, but you know Cloud doesn't end up with her.
Yeah, and you know that she isn't attracted to Cloud for him. She's attracted to Cloud because he's wearing Zack's clothes, he's carrying Zack's sword, so on and so forth. I saw some people saying that if like we'll see Jesse, like we'll get to Gold Saucer and we'll see the play happening, like you do in the original. She'll be the lead actress.
I like
the leading role. But then if we talk to her, she won't recognize us.
Like she has like dementia or something like that.
Yeah, like because
amnesia.
Yeah, like amnesia, like kind of like Cloud maybe, because she's not supposed to be there.
Yeah, I thought they were dead. I mean,
I thought they. I mean,
when Wedge lived, I was like,
yeah, when Wedge was alive, I was kind of like, what the hell? Which they kind of did that to show. Good.
He was on the brink of annoying.
Yeah.
He was like.
I think that was on purpose, though.
He was just there, but no, he was okay.
Yeah. Which I mean, I think they kept him alive to show the lab. Again, they can just go into more depth. So it's like, why are there monsters in Sector 7? Because there's labs underneath Sector 7 that Shinra was using to do experiments on, and you get to see that in this game. Like they added in
build character, build depth. I mean, add a whole lot more.
They added in the freaking monsters that you see in the Nibelheim reactor. I'm pretty sure that's what those were supposed to be.
Oh, the electric ones with the big thing coming out of their back?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's... I mean... That's what it looked like.
The one that pops into my mind at the end of the flashback scene in... What's the name of the city? The city right after Midgar.
Calm
Town, yeah. That scene that... I mean, the one that looks like it's got red leather pants on. It's got like the big face or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I can understand why it is. I'm not disputing it.
Yeah. I mean, it might not be that exact thing, but you know,
it's soldier people that got infected with the cells and didn't take it well, and they turn into monsters. What other? Okay, so the summons that you get with the game are Shiva, Ifrit, Chocomog. If you find Chocomog,
is that the fat one?
Nope.
No, Fat Chocobo.
Fat Chocobo, and Leviathan
and Bahamut.
See, I didn't get Bahamut because I didn't beat Leviathan and Fat Chocobo until Shinra's Tower.
Oh.
So that challenge didn't get off to me.
But I think I only got Ifrit and Shiva.
I think you have to do all the intels before you can get Bahamut. I'm not sure about
Bahamut's the last one. Do you know what happens when you do everything for Chadley?
Yeah, you get the gauntlet run of challenges. That's the Pride and Joy one.
No, I'm talking. It has to do with Chadley's character development.
Oh no, I don't care. You can tell me.
He's actually an android built by Hojo, and he's battle testing Cloud to try and gauge his abilities.
Then you get the Hojo version of the challenges.
Well, no, you get the Shinra combat training when you beat the game.
Okay. So it's Hojo already knowing Cloud's out there, wanting to just test his strength, knowing that he's implanted with Sephiroth cells, and
Yeah. So I didn't see that. I heard that in a
low
video.
on disk space.
Yeah, I don't know why that pops up. I'm not low. I cleared out like a bunch of games. Destiny 2.
Yeah, I have 4 magic materials I need to level up.
Oh.
I think one of them being revive because it's got like 5,000 AP on one level.
But even something like that, like it makes sense why Chadley is like weird now because he's a freaking android.
But I'm okay with all that. You get the enemy skill materia, and there's only 4 enemy skills.
There's only 4, which I
have 2 of them.
I can't wait. Hopefully, they will expand that to, I mean, what it was in the original.
I hope they don't put that many.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah, there were a lot of useless ones.
I'd be okay with 20.
Yeah, because that's that's straight up just 20 50? Abilities you can use. Yeah, 50 when only like 15 of them were really useful.
5 of them.
Yeah.
Okay, Big Guard, White Wind, Magic Breath, Aqualung,
and Death Sentence. Death Sentence, I mean, if you're doing the speedrun strats.
Speed running, and I mean then Shadow Flare.
Yeah. Which Shadow Flare don't you only get at the end?
No, you can get that from Ultimate Weapon too.
Oh yeah, that's right. So yeah,
I do dislike once you master materia, you do not born another one.
Yeah, that was kind of
especially for like I want extra elementals, I want extra AP ups.
Yeah, which the only way to get them was to buy them after that, right? Or can you even buy elemental?
No, you can only get 2.
The only way, the one of them you get it from the pre-air buster. You have to go into like the secret room, right? And you have to have disabled the thing to drop the items into the secret room, which thankfully I did. And the other one, where do you get the other one from?
You get the other one from getting the note from the Angel of the Slums.
Oh, that's right.
Elemental from that. So if you complete 22 of the quests, I guess. So you barely got it then if you didn't complete that many in the Sector 5 or Sector 7.
I did all of them, but like 2, I think, in Sector 7. And then after that, I did all of them that were available on one playthrough after that.
Fast travel was good with the Chocobo Sam.
I liked how they did it. Like they didn't just give it to you. You had to do a quest.
You could pay for it or do the quest to get it for free.
Which I really enjoyed that.
I think they put too much materia in it.
I thought it was fine.
So
they need to have material loadouts.
No, they just have too much. I mean, like the Azuna materia, I'm not going to use that. I didn't use bio at all in the entire thing.
I did.
On which boss?
Like a lot of them.
I
don't remember which ones exactly, but I used it.
Death.
There was death?
I think so.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. What else? I mean, obviously you have Cure, Fire, Ice, Lightning.
Regen made no sense whatsoever.
It was okay.
I never even used it. Did it heal you over time?
Yeah.
I literally never used it.
So what I did is I had on Barrett, who was my healer, Barrett or Aerith, I had the auto cure with a max cure. And then as soon as I got a second cure, I put that on Tifa with the magnify. So as soon as it hit regen at the beginning of the battle, I'd build her up or use regen and get it on all 3 characters.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then I had the auto cure with the other person. And if I needed to, I can always switch because Aerith's moves really aren't that good, like her ATB moves, unless you need to use them.
Yeah. The only one that's really good is the one where she drops the rune and it double casts.
Yeah. The last one that she gets where you gain more if you use ATBs in there. That one's good too. Because if you drop that right under a boss that doesn't move around too much, you have Tifa just go in there and just wail on them.
I'm looking through my notes to be sure we're not skipping over a thing because we're kind of just random right now.
Cloud's moves, I wish there was one that gave a higher percentage to stagger damage. Like how Tifa has True Strike, does 30%. Rise and Fall does 20%.
Dude, why are you still popping up?
Omni Strike does like 10. My video quality is horrible on the stream right now.
I don't know what it is.
Probably need to start your computer because your storage is low.
That has nothing to do with video
I know,
quality.
it was a joke. But I told you, whenever we're fighting the Whisper bosses at the end, I staggered one of the low guys, and while he was staggered, I did Infinity's End, which is the one where he spins around and does a slam on the ground.
Yeah, it insta kills, like whatever. When you're like damaging the big one, right?
Yeah, and that's when it popped up on that hit. I still have Tifa hitting on the side, it's, like 500, 1,000, blah blah blah, and then just boom, 20,000 damage on him right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it got to the point where I was fighting Sephiroth at the end. This is one of the things that the fighting is good, but I hate that you like, oh, I transitioned to another part. My stagger's going to drop down to 0.
I hated that, and I hated how
I transitioned to another part, but you already started a limit break, but you're going to lose that limit break and do no damage to me.
I hated how limit breaks did not carry over.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't use them in the current fight you were in, they're gone.
They're gone.
I did not like that.
They're still there if you die though in battle.
Yeah, that is good. That's
good.
kind of the trade-off then, I guess.
Yeah.
But still,
if you die in battle with a limit break, you still have it.
Yeah, I didn't like that where it's like, okay, I just used a limit break, so I'm going to swap to the other character. And then while you're on the other character, doing damage while the person you casted the limit on is doing it, you break the damage threshold, and then the limit is wasted.
And I'm kind of aggravated on the cast times for
the higher level spells.
The higher levels, and if you get knocked,
it takes the MP.
There goes your ATB damage and your MP.
Because it uses the MP when you select it, not when you cast it.
Yep.
Aerial combat was really weak.
It's okay.
I get that, that's what Barrett and Aerith are there for, but
yeah.
To me, aerial combat still could be improved a little bit. The lock-on could be improved a lot.
Yeah.
Like, when a boss had a weak spot, like the tank, and when he was going to use his main weapon.
I didn't even know the boss had a weak spot.
Yeah, when he was going to use... so that boss fight must have taken you like 45 minutes.
Took me forever.
No, if... I had Thundaga on Aerith and on Barrett. So when he was going to do... He was doing his main thing, like charging up his arm, have both of them cast Thundaga, and it staggered him.
No. I staggered him once, and immediately he went into the next phase. I'm just like...
Yeah.
I'm just going to sit here, hide behind the pillar, and just unload with Barrett.
Well, and he had the same he had the same mechanic Hellhouse did, where he rotates his magic resistance. So if you would cast like Blizzard on him, and it would do like damage, he would do. Do you think
I casted magic in this game?
Magic is really strong in this game.
I know. If it was outright where they stayed the same, but if they rotated, I just did physical damage.
Yeah, which is like Hellhouse, you could tell which. So like it's the same thing. Like fire is weak to ice is weak to fire.
Yeah,
Thunder is weak to.
What it is.
Yeah. So like for Hellhouse, it would show it in the windows what resistance it had. For that, you just had to pay. For the tank, you just had to pay attention. So it'd be like ice defenses engaging now or whatever. So then you have to cast fire on it.
See, I didn't even have that much material on me.
Yeah, I had set materia on set people.
How much ethers did you go through?
Bro, majority of my money was spent on ethers.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never bought a single ether, and I'll probably have like 40 left.
I legit had like 70 ethers at one point.
That's why I was okay throwing like mega potions, turbo ethers. I threw some elixirs at some points in the last battles, and it's just like,
oh yeah,
you can't use these on hard mode.
Once I was getting to the end, I was like, all right, like Cloud's at half health, like 3/4 HP. Here's an elixir.
I'm sorry, the mega potion needs to be 2,500, not 1,500.
Yeah, there was not enough difference between a high potion and a mega potion.
Potion was what, 200 or 300?
Potion was 300, I think. High potion was 750.
It should have been 1,500.
Yeah, the high potion should have been 1,000. Mega potion should have been 2,000, at least.
I do like how they scaled back MP on this to some extent.
Yeah,
like the higher with the Thundagas and stuff like that. That
It's
is
like 21, 22.
21. That is a little high.
Yeah. Bro.
But
it keeps popping up that my disk space is low.
No, but overall the combat's very fun. Bosses aren't too aggravating. There's a couple that are aggravating, but you just have to know your way around them.
Yeah.
I still haven't done the gauntlet yet, but it's not going to be that bad. People are complaining, oh my god, it's the hardest thing ever. Okay, well you didn't do the Final Fantasy 12
Oh god, that
6
thing.
judge challenge.
Yeah.
At the end of after fighting Ultimate Bahamut.
I think the hard mode in this game is the perfect. I haven't done it yet, but I've watched people playing it.
I'm not even worried about the hard mode.
It looks like the perfect level of difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a challenge enough to where it'll cause you to stop and think about what you're gonna do, but it doesn't look like obnoxiously hard or broken.
We both said we didn't really get the full grasp of the combat system until we beat the game.
Yeah. So, if anything, hard mode will allow you to go even more in depth.
Yeah, because we'll be able to set up our materia right from the get-go, because we'll have it all.
And you'll know what bosses are weak to what.
Exactly. Because I fought Raps the first time, had lightning on them, and that did reduce damage. Oh, I should have switched to fire. So I didn't kill myself. Huh?
Wait, what you can't in mid-fight.
No, so I killed myself on purpose. And then what I do, I equipped Ifrit, and what happened? I killed him in about 2 seconds.
Yeah. Which, I mean, if anything, they could do what they did in the original game and allow an ATB bar to be used to swap out a weapon. Or 2 ATB bars to swap out a weapon.
No, I don't think they need to do that. I think they need to have a exchange all materia, or be able to like swap materia between people, not just yourself.
So materia loadouts?
No. They don't need to go that far.
I think that'd be tight.
I think that's unnecessary.
A lot of things could be unnecessary, but be cool.
I did like how did you use the armor piece that had 0 materia slots? So sort of like the Z Wretch.
Mm-hmm.
So are you gonna get the Goddamn Rung before doing your hard mode?
I don't even know what that is.
You start off each fight with ATB and Limit Break.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you gotta beat the challenge mode, the Pride and Joy. So you have to beat the Bahamut and all that stuff. Because the Bahamut fight is the second to last fight. Then you fight Pride and Joy, who's actually easier.
Yeah, Pride and Joy is like the Shinra whatever.
Tex, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't done that yet. I will, because apparently you can just do everything. You can do everything before you go back to hard mode from the chapter select thing.
You just chapter select. Like I'm already halfway through chapter 3 to get one of the dresses. I figured I was going to get that out of the way.
No.
I'm going to play through chapter 3 and chapter 9 to get 2 of the dresses. And then the last time when I play through hard mode all at once, I'll get the other 2 dresses.
Yeah.
But other than that, I missed one disc in the entire thing. It was in chapter 14. It was some dude by the pond or something like that. I didn't even see it pop up. What else that I didn't do? I have one more intel left to do, which is the master all the green materia.
Jesus Christ.
See, you didn't get the praise about Jesse at the end of the motorcycle game.
No, I didn't. You have to keep your health above 80% or something.
75%.
Oh, we never talked about Roach again.
Oh, I was too busy focusing on Jesse, feeling Cloud up the entire time.
So
that fight was more annoying than the motorball fight.
Yeah, I agree. The fight 1v1 against him was pretty cool.
Annoying. Yeah, I liked it.
People found him annoying, and I like Aerith's adopted
Obviously,
mother.
I haven't played Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, Aerith's Elmira was a lot more involved in this game, I feel like.
Oh yeah, her adopted. I was thinking Lucretia. No, that's
no
not,
Lucretia, Sephiroth's mother.
Yeah, Sephiroth's mother, Vincent's lover.
Yeah. Because she was like, you boys gave up a normal life for power, talking about Soldier.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
so,
that's all. That's more added content that they couldn't.
well, I know, but I'm saying that about Roach because like even when he was appearing, all the normal Shinra soldiers were like, "Oh crap, he's coming! Like, let's get out of the way."
Yeah,
Because it shows like, yeah, soldiers were like potentially like crazy and like, you know, like power hungry and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But then their body literally starts deteriorating. So I think we're gonna fight Roach again. I think we'll fight him in the next part.
I think so too.
And he'll be completely different than what he was in this one. And again, that's something they can do now. They can add in new areas. They can add in new characters.
I don't think they need to add in new areas.
I'm all for it. Like I said,
I think they have enough areas that they can just develop story in those areas.
Well, yeah, okay, they can add in new characters and the places that we already know.
Yeah, like Calm Town.
Yeah.
Imagine like going down to like the weapon shop or like under the bridge and stuff like that. You're probably gonna have like missions to do there.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't surprise me if they combine Calm Town and have like the Chocobo Ranch like right outside of it.
Yeah.
I am ready to see the Midgar Zalem though.
Yes. Can't wait for that.
Awesome. And
so,
especially if you're going to be able to try to run past it.
Oh God, it's going to be a freaking butt clencher.
So where do you think this next one's going to go up to?
That's really hard to say. Aerith's death. If it happens.
I think it's going to be going up to Temple of Agents.
Oh, really? Okay, well, no, yeah. Because you have to think about...
It depends, because if... So...
Okay, before I say that, before we go there, where did you think this part was going to end?
Oh, I knew it was going to be leaving Midgar. Even before they announced it, they said they were making it up to multiple parts. I was like, Midgar is going to be the end of it.
I was... Part of me was hoping they would end it at Calm with the flashback of like where you go to Nibelheim. Cool. To me, that's the only other spot they could have ended this.
Yeah, it could have been that or seeing like the serpent.
Yeah,
with his head on a spike. No, I think it could end at Temple of Agents because the thing, if you think there's two ways to take it. So the content between when you leave Midgar and you get to the end of this 2, Aerith's death, and the content after that to fighting Sephiroth, that second disc has a lot more content.
Yeah. And
or that second part.
People don't remember Temple of the Ancients is going to be like enormous in this game. Like I'm thinking Temple of the Ancients will be 10 hours. To get from beginning of it to end of it, taking your time, exploring everywhere. I think it'll be at least 10 hours.
I say a good 5. I say it'd be like 2 chapters.
Yeah. It also depends on how long. I think the next part's going to be longer than this one.
It's going to be bigger than this one.
Well, bigger, but there's going to longer as in there's going to be more stuff to do because.
Well, you're gonna have access to the Ultra Blu-ray disc.
Yeah, and even if they don't do the pure open world, there will still be. It won't be as linear as Midgar was.
I think they can take a Horizon approach to it.
Yeah, same.
Where it's semi-open world or not necessarily a Tomb Raider, but...
It'll be more open world than, say, like what God of War was. Because God of War was still kind of... It wasn't linear, like you had the lake where you could go on the boat and kind of... Mm-hmm. But there were only certain parts you could go to.
Especially if you get Chocobos and you get the Motocraft and then you get the... What's the ship's name? Not the
Highwind.
The other one. No, not the Highwind.
Oh, the one that crashes into the water?
Yeah.
The one that Palmer tries to steal?
Mm-hmm. And then gets hit by a truck.
Yeah.
It's just... There's so much to think about. I think if it ends anywhere with, Aerith's death or Temple of Agents, I'll be fine. It'll probably end with her dying and then have like some big revelation or something right there. I'm fine. You do see that flashback of, first of all, her holy material dropping.
Well, technically flash forward.
Flash forward, yeah. Which, see, that's what the flash forward that Red saw. This is, I think he said if we succeed, because that's kids growing, and that's what you see in Advent Children. saying, because he's the last of his breed, and if we succeed, I will be able to have children.
No, I'm almost
almost
positive he says this is what happens if we lose here, because that scene is not originally from Advent Children. It's originally
at
from
the end of Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, and it says 500 years later, and when Advent Children takes place like a couple years after.
Yeah, but also he's still there because he lives longer.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
So
it was originally from that when that happened 500 years after. So
you're saying if they kill Sephiroth, stop Meteor, cast Holy, that's them failing.
That's not what I'm saying. That's what I'm interpreting it as.
Oh, okay. See, I think that's them succeeding because the planet doesn't get crushed and destroyed and rebuilds itself from its own.
He might have meant this is what happens if we lose here, and the fact that this is what the ending will be, like in the original one. So if they win here, they're altering destiny pretty much, because they're killing the Whispers, they're beating the Whispers.
Mm-hmm.
But if they would have lost to the Whispers, the same things would have happened in the same exact order, kind of like what had been happening up until that point. So I don't know.
I don't think the Whispers have that much to do with it. I think they're just added content.
Yeah, I think they're important, but we're in agreement. The same major things are still going to happen.
I think they were there to give little snippets of backstory and future, and keep the person that didn't play the original one hungry.
Yeah. And at the end of the original Final Fantasy VII, it says 500 years into the future.
500 years later.
And it shows Red because he has the tattoo. And it's presumptive children running. And it's over Midgar, and it's like all, vegetation and everything.
Yeah, because what his grandfather is like 2,000 years old or something like that,
something
or
like
something
that.
ridiculous. Something ridiculous. Which is, how are they going to do him? I don't know. There's so many things.
Who? Bugenhagen?
Bugenhagen, yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna say they talk about fate and the live stream being intertwined in the original. So if people are like, "Oh, it's not like the original," they talk about this shit in the original too. You just don't know what you're talking about.
Dude, the Scarlet.
Freaking the planet sends out giant Godzilla things in the first one, and you're gonna talk about, "Oh, this isn't possible," or "This isn't logical." Get out of here, dude.
The weapons. Do you think they're gonna have the ruby and the emerald in this one?
They better.
Or it might be DLC.
As long as they have them, I don't care.
As long as they have the Scarlet and Tifa slap fight.
Oh, good lord.
Dude, Scarlet, when she came on, Megan was sitting in the chair and she's like, "What are you watching?"
Oh, there's another Easter egg to Crisis Core. In Crisis Core, you see two Shinra soldiers talking, talking about Scarlet. It's like, I wouldn't mind those high heels stepping on me. It's presumed that that's the dude that she literally uses as a footrest.
Oh, that one that crawls behind her.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. This game was so good. You can tell the effort they put into this game, and it makes me so happy.
Mark Hamill as Corneo.
Yeah.
It sounded like he was almost Palmer too, a little bit.
He could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought all the voice acting was great. I wasn't upset that they were changing people, but I guess I was skeptical.
Do you think we'll be able to get Yuffie and Vincent in part 2?
Definitely Yuffie.
Technically, you don't have to do them at all. Technically, you don't have to go to Wutai at all.
Yeah, because in the original, can't you play without getting either one? Can't you play without getting Vincent? Mm-hmm. Can't you play? You can play the entire game without getting, because you have to unlock him from Nibelheim.
Yeah, and you don't need to get Yuffie either.
Yeah, because you find Yuffie in a random encounter, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
And you beat her and she joins.
Yeah, well, you don't beat her; you just ignore her and she joins. And she calls. Who does she call? She calls. She also makes fun of Tifa's boobs.
Yeah,
and that too.
Bro, what I'm looking forward to is playing as Kate Sith, or Kate Sheath, however you say it.
You know that's Reeves, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what some people are saying, oh, he's controlled by some Shinra operative. I'm like, yeah,
it's Reeves. Yeah.
It's Reeves.
So,
he controls.
Okay, one thing that was pretty funny, I was surprised they showed Kate Sith after the plate fell. When Sector 7 plate falls, you see Kate Sith, and he's like on top of the plate. He like slams his cat fist into the ground. So it's kind of funny to think about. Like Reeves was controlling Kate Sith, so he's just like sitting there controlling the thing. It's like, oh man, I'm gonna have the thing I'm controlling slam its fist into the ground. But he's probably in like some kind of VR. Like Kate Sith was like replicating his movement or something.
No. They said that in the original one. Like he isn't in. He's being controlled.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. So like Reeves was just sitting in his office, like like instead of him just being pissed, he's like controlling Kate Sith to be pissed. Yeah, like a square to be in agony.
Yeah, slam down. Yeah, I mean, come on, dice.
Yeah, could be broken.
Yeah, could be broken.
Will definitely be fun. So to wrap this up, well, what are you gonna say?
No, I think I don't know. Like, I'm interested to see how the other characters. I hope you can control them all. I'm hoping you're not going to just. That would be a disappointment to me if you can only play with the 4 main ones.
I think you'll be able to control all of them.
I think so too.
Because you think it's going to be open world. So if it's going to be open world, you will definitely be able to.
At least semi-open world. It's not going to be. It's not going to be as linear as this was.
Yeah,
it is going to open up because I mean the original one was very linear, and they're making this game on PlayStation 4 whenever. PlayStation 5 is right around the corner. That's leaps and bounds better. And the thing is, they're running this on the Unreal Engine,
which is the best engine to run games on.
Decima is close.
I think Unreal is easier to work with.
Yes, Unreal is easier to work with, but Decima is close as far as like fidelity and stuff goes. But Unreal is easier to work with, and that's why they were able to get it out so much quicker because they just paid the percent fee to Unreal and was able to do with it. But I think this next one is going to be leaps and bounds better than this one.
Me too. I definitely agree.
The fact is, what loading did you have on here? They loaded during the cutscenes. Yeah,
you had loading for that, and then when you fast traveled, that's it.
And then there's some parts where like if you would go to one area, you'd open a door, and then you went back, especially in the sewers, I noticed, and you went back to the other area, that door would be closed, so you got to reopen it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, no, stop, go to the Skyrim page, read this dialogue for 5 minutes before it loads.
All right, so before we wrap up, I'm interested to see how you think the progression is going to go as far as like our characters. So levels, materia, items. Do you think we'll have to have a save? Do you think they're just going to give everything you could get in this game? You'll just start with that in the next game?
So there's 2 ways you can go about it.
Do you think Yuffie's going to pull up and steal all our materia?
I think there will be both, honestly.
Okay. You think they'll just give us a set?
I think you will be able to load your save if you did it and start from where you were. But if not, say like for some reason your save got deleted, or I didn't play the first one, I'm just going to play the second one.
Which would make no sense, but
you can You could start like at level 40 with these weapons, proficient, all these weapons, these materials leveled up, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I don't know, because it is weird that you're going to be able to have magic already leveled up.
I'm sure however they do it, it'll make sense. To me,
that, or they just tack on like 3 more levels to it and have like, fire level 4, 5, 6, or whatever.
So yeah, to me, I mean, the easiest way is you have cloud saves, right? Or Yuffie comes and steals your crap.
So and you got to start from scratch.
Which I honestly don't care how they do it.
I think that's my biggest thing. There's an abundance of materia for this game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you found your 3rd poison orb. Why?
Okay, but there was a lot of materia in the not up to the same point, but in the entire first game there was a lot of materia. Because you have to think
in Midgar, there's a lot of materia.
No, that's what I'm saying. Compared to the entire first game, there's a lot.
Yeah.
But up until the same points in this game, in the original, there's a lot more in the remake.
I would have been mad if they would have put something like Quake in there. I'm just like,
like at the very beginning.
Like really?
Yeah. So overall, as you can probably tell, we absolutely loved this game.
Let's just throw Meteor in there too.
Oh God.
Some Comet.
Yeah.
Comet or what is it?
No, you beat Spider Tank. Here's Knights of the Round summon material.
Yeah. Dude, can't wait for that.
Yeah, that shit's gonna be insane. So, something that makes me very hopeful. This game was as good as it was, and it was the first one. So, I mean, hopefully, they will build off the very good things in this game.
How long do you think it will take for the second part to come out?
3 years.
That's what I was gonna say. 3 years.
So 2023, this one, the next one will come out, and then I think it'll take 2 years for the. I think there's gonna be 3 parts.
And I think this next part is gonna take 3, maybe 4 years, but then the one after that's gonna take less than 2 years.
Yeah, same.
That, or they just put them together and sell it for $100, and then you get to hear people complain that they're paying $100 for a 200-hour video game.
Yeah,
I would be more than, because I mean, think about it. You're with the new PS5s, you're gonna have the Ultra Blu-ray disc, so they're gonna be able to hold, I think, like 8 times the amount of storage of a normal Blu-ray. Something dumb.
And you're gonna have like the stupidly insane SSDs with
package them together.
0.2 second load time.
Give us 2 and give us 3. Put them together and just sell it for $100. People can't complain whenever they're getting a 200+ hour video game for $100. I mean, how much would you paid for The Witcher?
How much would I have?
How much would you have paid now that you've played it?
There's not a price. I mean, there's a price that I wouldn't have paid, of course, but
I would have paid $80 retail for it.
Oh, yeah. Like 0. I would have paid 120 retail for it.
How much would you have paid for Skyrim? Brand new.
Brand new, same.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's all based on that, and people are going to complain that I'm totally expecting PlayStation 5 games are going to go up in price.
I'm fine with it, because the quality is going to go up too.
Some should go up in price, and some should come down in price.
Yeah.
I mean, perfect example, Ratchet & Clank was a $40 game. Could be okay. The next one could be very well $40, but whenever The Witcher 4 comes out, if that's $120 and it comes on 3 Blu-ray discs, are you going to complain about it?
3 of like the hyper Blu-ray discs that could hold 8 however much times a PS4 could.
Yeah.
So
now back to this. What if they threw a curveball, and speaking of size in these games, and you play through a portion of Crisis Core before you continue the story of the remake?
Okay, somebody was talking. I was watching. I think it was the Easy Allies review.
Probably.
And they made a bet, and it was like, how much do you want to bet that you play through the original game at some point in this game? Like at Golden Saucer, there's like an arcade machine with like some part of the original Final Fantasy VII, and you play that while you're playing the remake.
Well, that's okay. They're not that big. The dual layer, 50 gigabytes for PlayStation 4. And on PlayStation 5, they're going to be 100 gigabytes.
So still a noticeable difference.
Doubling the size.
Yeah.
No, I didn't tell you. I beat Medieval, and one of the trophies was you can play the original version in that game. So they stuck the original Medieval in the remake, and you could play that too. I want to say you could have did that with, Uncharted 4. You can play Crash Bandicoot in Uncharted 4.
Yeah. Do you
play
think...
the opening level? No, they're not going to put the original game in here.
No. So I know we said no multiverse stuff, whatever. Do you think they would pull a Final Fantasy VIII where you play as Zack a la Laguna in Final Fantasy VIII?
I think that'd be awesome.
Where you it's completely, well, the Laguna stuff was not a separate timeline, but kind of was, but not really.
It was in the same timeline, just in the past.
Yeah, exactly. Because Laguna was his dad or his stepdad or something, or I don't remember exactly what it was. They're related somehow.
So what they should do is come out with part 2, have a separate team redoing Crisis Core, and put that out in between 2 and 3 as a PS5 release.
That'd be sick.
Because it's a shorter game. You have the build on it. You already have the character renders for it.
Mm-hmm.
You already have Zack in this one. You have the Shinra shoulders.
Yeah, you literally have the shot by shot ending.
It's not going to be any different to put Angel and
Genesis in there.
Genesis and Sephiroth in there. They're already there, so
yeah, when Sephiroth was somewhat normal, that was one of my favorite parts of that game. Was seeing Sephiroth like not a maniac.
They just need to have a port of it. But anyway, yeah,
play this game.
Play this game, then go play the remake. I want to say it's like $10 right now on PlayStation 4.
Wait, what? Oh, the original, you mean?
All Final Fantasy games right now on PlayStation 4 are dirt cheap.
You see, I recommend you play the entire original before you play the remake.
I would be okay with people playing this part and then going back and play the remake.
Yeah, that's good too.
Or playing the remake and then go back and play the original.
If you have the time, I would play the original first.
Mm. Well, I mean, if you play it on PlayStation 4, you have the 3x speed cheats. You have the
if you don't care about the game mode, you just want the story.
You just want to play for the story and the battle system and things. But people I've seen saying they're enjoying playing a turn-based.
Yeah, turn-based is very fun if you are not used to it. It's a good change of pace than what most people are used to. We've played a lot of Final Fantasy games, a lot of JRPGs, so we are very familiar.
A lot of video games.
Yeah, we are very familiar with turn-based stuff. And Final Fantasy VII was unique from other turn-based games because it was technically time turn-based.
Active time battle.
Yeah.
You can do the wait system though.
Oh, where like if it's your turn, the enemy can't attack you. Stuff like that.
You have to if you cycle through, then they'll attack. Like you cycle and they get moved up and you cycle to someone else.
So like Final Fantasy X was.
Yeah, more or less like that.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, play this game. We are both dreading the wait that we are going to have until the next one comes out, but there's plenty to talk about story wise. I'm sure.
More details will come out.
Yeah, more things. And again, the story of the original one was, people like to think that it was cut and clear what was happening. It was pretty convoluted at the time.
Avalanche is the bad guy.
Yeah. Okay. One other thing. Isn't Avalanche like secretly a subdivision of Shinra? Like there's a mobile game before Crisis, and at the end it's revealed, like that's the major reveal at the end, is like originally Avalanche was made by Shinra to combat Wutai or something like that.
You're saying this was revealed in Crisis Core?
No, there's a legit mobile game called Before Crisis.
Oh, I don't.
It's something like that. And I even saw somewhere that Rufus Shinra is secretly in charge of that. And I don't know if that's been confirmed or not, but anyway, that's an aside. The story was not cut and clear like a lot of people make it out to be. This may be the fanboy in me because I'm a Final Fantasy VII fanboy, but it seems like people are trying very hard to hate on the remake, and they will.
Easy mode's too easy.
Yeah. The same people that were saying easy mode is too easy were complaining that Sekiro was too hard.
This AC fan looks like a real fan.
Yeah. So not just that, it's like, again, people like to, when they think Nomura, they think Kingdom Hearts, but Nomura did a lot of stuff before Kingdom Hearts. He did a lot of stuff before Kingdom Hearts.
The thing, I'm sorry, this is going to be pointed to younger fans. This is a 23-year-old game.
Yeah.
Because you were born in what, 96?
94.
94? Okay,
and it came out in 97.
97, so you were 3.
Yeah. And I didn't play it until like mid-2000s.
Yeah. I played it in 97 when it came out. We got our PlayStation, we got that, and we got Rugrats. What do you think we played?
Rugrats was pretty legit, though.
Yeah, it was pretty legit. We didn't have a memory card for it either.
Yeah. The glory days. So yeah, and I'll even go as far as to say the story and plot elements of Kingdom Hearts are fine. It's just the characters that people have problems with.
No, the story and the plot in that game's messed up.
Well, yeah, it's super.
I'm gonna call you on that.
It's super over the top,
convoluted.
Yeah, this is not that much, but there's still enough to make you think. But the characters are leaps and bounds better, especially in the remake, because they were already leaps and bounds better in the original, with literally 2/3D
subtext,
no voice, no nothing, having to read stuff. There was already more depth to those characters, and I think that's something the remake does better. That's just my opinion. I'm not gonna go back and forth. They're different games. I'm not gonna say which one.
I think it's just due to the times and the technology.
Well, yeah, I know, but still,
I think they're both good. I think obviously this one is better because you're able to get that much more character depth into it. You hear the voices, facial expressions. You don't have to read out Baird's bleep curse words.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, they're both really good. They're both must play still in my book.
Oh, I mean, definitely.
This doesn't replace the original one for me because it's a different game.
Yep, same. I agree.
I still like the original one. It's still really good.
Yeah. And I mean, if you want to go that route, nobody's going to be able to say which one is better until the full game comes out. Because, again, this was, like we said, this was less than 10% of the original game. The Midgar story-wise and game time-wise, I mean, if you do everything in the original, it's over 100-hour game. And Midgar was, let's say, 10 hours. So it was 10% of the original game. If you do every single thing.
Yeah. And I mean, you said you clocked in at 33.
33. And I did.
You went a little bit faster.
Yeah, because I didn't do all the side stuff.
I'd say it's about 30 hours.
Yeah.
Average about 30 hours. I mean, I was closer to 40 because I did everything. The original game, I think, was 60 to 80 hours.
I think it's closer to 80.
But that's just going through, not completing everything.
Yeah. If you're completing everything, it's closer to 100. Maybe even more.
100, 120, yeah. I mean, it depends how you get your chocobos and all that stuff.
Which I can't emphasize this enough. I can't wait to see what they do with the next ones, because they did everything so well, and in my opinion, it's only going to get better. The only thing that can't get better, in my opinion, is the music.
Yeah, that's top tier.
The music will just be as good as it was, because I said it at the beginning, this game has my favorite music out of any video game ever.
Cosmo Canyon,
Gold Saucer,
and Gold Saucer. Those are the three I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Sid's theme when he's like in the rocket and everything like that.
Yeah, that's going to be legit.
And then just Cosmo Canyon all day.
And we also got a preview of what Bugenhagen's little observatorium is going to look like when they went into the museum place and they did like which was a badass scene.
Yeah.
When they did the holograph stuff. And we got to actually see the ancients. We'll see the ancients. And the Cetra. Well, the Cetra is what they were called.
Yeah, the Cetra.
Yeah. That was freaking insane. I'm excited to see what they do with like Genova going forward.
Yeah, if they're still gonna have life, death, and I forget the other names. But it's just, I don't know.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited if they're gonna have big shoes on it.
No, they have to have big shoes.
I know.
They have to have big shoes, and they have to have the slap contest.
Yeah, they need to have the slap contest. Just the amount of the wackiness of the monsters in this one does not compare to the rest of the game. They got some weird characters. So no, it's good. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
But
so final thoughts. They were definitely faithful to the original, whilst expanding and adding in new elements that made very good twists and still made the game fresh. Even though we knew what was going to happen for the most part in this part. I I don't know about you. I knew something different was going to happen.
I knew Sephiroth was going to show up. I knew something with the spirits. I knew there was going to be some twist that didn't actually turn real. Barrett getting stabbed. I knew just. I mean, this is just. So I watched all the trailers.
Mm-hmm.
I know the base game really well. I knew they're not going to kill off any major characters. Barrett cannot die.
Mm-hmm.
Red cannot die. Tifa cannot die. They're not going to kill Aerith off right now.
Yeah. In this part.
I mean, it's surprised that Biggs is still alive, Wedge is still alive, Jesse better be still alive. But I knew it was going to end after Midgar.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had a feeling before they announced that a while back that it was.
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah.
But I think just due to the fact of the PS4 system limitations, that was a good stopping point.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of story that they could put in Midgar was good enough to not need to go farther. Because I mean, once you get to Calm, that's the next step. But that's also
you'd have to get into like
how
open
deep
world.
are they going to go into? How deep are they going to go into his backstory?
Yeah, true.
I mean, his backstory could be 2 or 3 chapters.
Mm-hmm.
We could make it to the boat in Junin, and that could be the end of the second game.
Yeah, they really could. They really could go that route and expand on everything and give everything a lot more depth, and make it 5 parts.
Did they say it was going to be 3 parts?
No, that's just what I'm thinking. If they make it, I feel like if they make it like 5 parts,
they're gonna make it 3 parts. They cannot make it more.
Yeah, because there would be a point where they would be trying to do too much.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, we realize and accept and are happy that it is not the same exact thing as the original, but we want it to still remain faithful, and
we want it still to be Final Fantasy.
Yeah, we want it to build upon the original and add in new things and do the same things in its own way, if that makes sense. Which this part very much did.
I did not. This is going to get some hate. I did not want this to be the Breath of the Wild of the Zelda franchise.
Me either.
And it's not.
I don't know if Zach's watching, but I am having trouble getting into Breath of the Wild.
Told you.
Because
it's not a Zelda game.
The open world aspect of it is great.
What is there to do?
The story, I haven't really done the story yet, but there's no story in the game. It's story-wise, it is probably the weakest Zelda game.
I watched Goth play this game a lot, and all he did was run around to shrines and catch the freaking Korok seeds that give you nothing.
The shrines give you stuff, but the Korok seeds don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The shrines give you stuff, but that's all I saw. I never saw any story.
Yeah. So,
but
I don't think that'll happen with this. I mean,
but good thing, just going from because people like Final Fantasy 15. I still have yet to play it. I'm going to play it just because it's a Final Fantasy game and I haven't played it. I refuse to play 10-2 and I won't play. I have 13-2 and Lightning Returns, but whenever I'm completely out of games. But taking an old game that was known for this type of system to go to an action RPG based system, I think they did a great job.
Yeah. It's very rare, or it's actually kind of mind-blowing that I don't know if you can call part 1 of the remake groundbreaking. Maybe like graphics wise, music wise, character development wise. The original was groundbreaking.
Yeah, the original was.
But they
pumped so much advertisement into it.
Yeah, that's true. Because it was a different time. Because back then that was like that, and like Nintendo were the only video game advertisements you would see. Now you see video game advertisements everywhere.
Yeah, I think it's not necessarily groundbreaking, but it's up there with the groundbreaking ability of this console that's still being utilized with, I mean, as far as God of War, Uncharted 4, Horizon, and Persona 5.
Yeah.
I'd say those.
Yeah, those are like, and we're at the end of the PS4's life cycle. So
like you need to play Persona 5 Royal. I'm going to buy it for you so you can play it, so then I can then play it.
My plan is working.
well, the thing is, you like the music in this game. The music in that game is almost as good as this. Almost as good as this.
My favorite game music before this was Chrono Trigger. So I love the Chrono Trigger music.
I like this better.
No, like I said, this is my favorite video game soundtrack of all time now. I loved it before, but the fact that it's like full orchestras and there's like Angel Thump singing in the background while Genova's theme is playing.
I know.
I lost my shit at that fight.
I like this, and then I actually like Final Fantasy X a lot too.
Yeah, the Final Fantasy X music is great. And all the Final Fantasy music is great. 12's great, 8's great.
They have all the playlists of all the soundtracks on Spotify.
I know, I've been listening to it.
So no, go play the game.
Yeah, the game is amazing. You gave it a 10 out of 10. I gave it a 9 out of 10, and that is me being about as hard and difficult on the game as I could be. That is me nitpicking it like to death.
One of the must-play JRPGs of your life.
Yeah.
You have to.
And like we said, this was the first installment, so it can, in my opinion, it will only get better. The combat will get better. The graphics will 100% get better because it'll be on PS5. I just can't wait. I'm pissed that we're going to have to wait potentially at minimum 2 years at minimum.
Well, let's think about this. It is a no, it's not a first party game.
Square Enix? Well, no, because it's going to be coming out on PC.
It's a second party AAA game.
But they will treat it like a first party.
Yeah, they're going to. So we're going to have Horizon first, where we already have Spider-Man that's going to be before this.
I think God of War, the next God of War will come out before part 2 of this game.
Yes. This and God of War in the same year. So
good lord. Don't do that to me. But yeah, so that is, this was, like I said, this could be a long episode. We're just talking about this for 2 hours, and we could keep going for probably another hour. But we're going to cut it off here. I will probably, JT might do this too and post it on the podcast channel. But on my channel, I will be doing a kind of more streamlined review. It'll probably be like 10 to 15 minutes. This was kind of us going into detail. We could have gone into more. We literally could have talked about the last hour of the game for 3 hours, but a lot of that is theory, and in the
just
end,
love for the game.
Yeah, in the end, we might get Namura'd, and in the good way, and everything that people are predicting will not be true.
See, I don't consider him. I don't. When you say his name, I don't have any relation to Kingdom Hearts. He's always going to be Final Fantasy to me.
Well, yeah, but he always does like the kind of plot twist, kind of not convoluted, but over the top plot stuff. Anyway.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's already building on his original plot, so he's not going to be hating it.
Yeah, and we still have Toriyama and Najima in there too. So those three together doing this, the story's going to be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, Najima is the one that wanted to literally kill everyone. Mm-hmm. And everyone was like, oh, you can't really do that. I mean, they could.
You must be a big fan of Final Fantasy VI then.
Yeah. So anyways, guys, that's going to wrap it up for us. Right around the 2 hour mark. We know it was long, but I think this will be our longest episode.
Probably. We appreciate it if you made it this far.
Yeah, the end game review was like right over an hour, I think. Speaking of which, that came out a year ago yesterday.
Yep.
So already
still waiting for the next stuff to drop.
Yeah. Which
we will be
updating y'all on, because everything got delayed pretty much. So as soon as we get more news, we'll be updating y'all on that.
Thor and Doctor Strange got switched, so Doctor Strange got pushed back, Thor got pushed up.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Spider-Man got pushed back.
Guardians 4 is not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
James Gunn said he's going to go on to something else, but it's interesting. And then we also are going to be discussing the Clone Wars, Star Wars Clone Wars. This past week's episode was the best episode of the show.
Easily.
Of maybe some of the best content of any Star Wars show.
It made me feel a way that none of the sequel movies made me feel.
Like, we can do an hour-long conversation just with this last week's episode, just how well it was done.
We might do that. We might. The last 4 episodes of this season are built like a movie, so we might do.
Well, they're intertwined with the one of the movies.
Well, I know, but you get what I'm saying. So, anyways,
Mandalorian season 3 is already pre-production.
Yeah, so that means season 2 is done. So we will definitely get that this year.
Yeah, we got a lot more content coming up. We've been taking a drought due to...
We were playing this game.
Yeah, playing this game.
Yeah. Because it was amazing. And we wanted to... We were thinking of doing an episode last week and like our thoughts and review up to where we were. But we were at different parts. We were like, no, let's finish the game and we'll sit down and just do one episode.
Yeah, because at one point I was like 20 hours ahead of you, but then you played.
But I played 12 hours in one day and I couldn't get enough. I wanted to play more, but I was like, no, I need to like go do something else. So anyways, guys, we appreciate y'all if y'all made it this far. Be sure to like and follow whatever platform you're listening on. And until next time,
keep gaming.
And we will see y'all later. Peace.